When you retire, one thing quietly disappears almost overnight: your paycheck. For 30 or 40 years, just money showed up magically in your bank account every couple of weeks. Maybe it wasn't always enough, maybe you wished it was bigger, but at least the system was clear. Work, get paid, pay the bills. Now, retirement flips that script completely. Suddenly, you're the one who's responsible for creating your own paycheck. And one of the biggest retirement questions becomes a really simple one. Where should the money come from, and where should it come from first, and in what order? Should you pull the money from your 401k, your IRA, your Roth IRA, your taxable brokerage accounts, your savings accounts? And this is what most retirees don't realize. The simple order that you pull money from your retirement accounts can cost or save you tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your retirement. Welcome to the UnRetired, where you're not done, but you're finally doing what you want. If you're planning for retirement or already retired or trying to just make smarter decisions with the next chapter of your life, please don't forget to like and subscribe this video. It helps us build the community. It also gives us a signal as to what other types of content that you want. And this is a quick disclaimer. This video is for education and general information only. It's not financial advice. Remember, as I always say, everybody's retirement situation is completely different. So please make sure you run your own numbers, and even better if you can talk to a financial professional. Okay, the first thing to understand is that retirement is not just about how much money you have. It's about how you turn that money into income, and more importantly, how you turn it into the support for a great life. Two people can retire with the exact same portfolio size, but end up with completely different outcomes depending on things like taxes, Social Security timing, Medicare premiums, Roth conversions, and withdrawal order. Retirement turns you into the CFO, or the chief financial officer of your own household. Not a company, but your own household. So the first thing a CFO needs to do is find out where the money is going to come from. And your first step is figuring out about your fixed income. That means the income that you can generally count on before touching your portfolio. For most people, that starts with Social Security. For some, it may also include a pension, annuity income, rental income, business income, or other recurring income, or even a side hustle if that's part of your income stream. But for many retirees, those fixed income sources, they don't cover the full cost of living and lifestyle. And that difference is what I call the retirement income gap. What am I talking about? Well, let's do an example with some simple numbers. Suppose you need $10,000 a month to live the way that you want in retirement. Could be $5,000 a month, could be whatever. But let's use the example of $10,000 for easy math. Let's say your Social Security covers $4,000 a month. That means that you still have $6,000 a month or $72,000 a year that has to come from somewhere else. And that somewhere else is usually your investment portfolio. So now the question becomes, which investment account do you tap first to create the missing paycheck? To answer that, it also helps to think about money in three buckets. The first bucket is taxable money. And this could be a regular brokerage account, a trust account, or just investments outside of your retirement accounts. This money usually has already been taxed once. But if you sell investments that have gone up in value, you may owe capital gains tax on the profit, sometimes ordinary income if it's short term. The important distinction about taxable accounts is this: you're not taxed on the entire withdrawal, you're generally taxed on whatever the gain is on the principal that you put into the account. The second bucket is the tax deferred account, and this covers a lot of things. This could be your traditional IRA, 403B, similar retirement accounts. There's a whole list of them. And this is where many retirees have most of their wealth. But here's the most important thing to remember. You received a tax benefit when the money went into those accounts. And the accounts, they grew without current taxes along the way. But here's the kicker. When you pull the money out, it's generally taxed as ordinary income. So in plain English, that 401k, it's not all yours. Part of it is a future tax bill with your name on it. The third bucket is tax-free money, tax-free accounts. And these would be accounts like your Roth IRA, your Roth 401k. And what's unique about Roth money is you don't get the same tax deduction up front, but qualified withdrawals come out as tax-free. That basically means that you were taxed on money that you put into the account. So you've already paid the taxes on them. So now inside the Roth, it's a tax-free vehicle, so it's going to grow tax-free. And that makes Roth money incredibly powerful in retirement. It's not just tax-free money, it's tax-free compounding money, it's tax-free growing money. And that distinction matters a lot because when you take money out, you aren't going to get taxed on it no matter how much it grew. So what's the best withdrawal order? Well, the simple answer is this. Many retirees should at least consider using taxable accounts first and then tax-deferred accounts and Roth accounts last. But here's the catch. There is no universal rule. Remember what I said in the disclaimer. Everybody's retirement situation, their numbers, they're all incredibly unique. You could have a totally unique tax situation as well. So the right answer is going to depend on all kinds of variables like your income, your tax bracket, your Social Security timing, your Medicare situation, your estate goals, how much money you have in each bucket, and as I said, you might have other kind of tax implications. You have to really know what your own individual situation is. There's no one size fits all. But let's answer some questions. Why might taxable accounts come first? Well, because early retirement often creates a tax planning window. And maybe you retire at 62 but don't claim Social Security until 67 or 70. Maybe you stop working before required minimum distributions begin. During those years, your taxable income may be unusually low, and that can create opportunities to sell appreciated investments at lower capital gains rates versus ordinary income rates, and in some cases even at a 0% federal long-term capital gains rate depending on your total income. And that surprises a lot of people. They assume selling investments always is going to create a painful tax bill. But if your income is low enough and the gains qualify as long-term capital gains, some retirees realize significant gains with little or no federal tax. Again, you got to run your own numbers, but this is why blindly pulling from your IRA first can be a big mistake. Now, before we go deeper, I'm really curious to ask, have you thought about where you're going to pull your retirement income first? Or have you mostly been focused on building the biggest portfolio possible? There's nothing wrong with that, but drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you're thinking about. I read every comment, and hundreds of other people add their own comments and read yours. It's definitely going to help somebody. And I got to tell you something, even as the person creating these videos, I have learned a ton from people in the comments that they leave. All right, let's get back to this. The next reason withdrawal order matters is Social Security taxation. Many retirees are surprised to learn that withdrawals from traditional IRAs and 401ks can cause more of their Social Security benefit to become taxable. A lot of people don't even know their Social Security benefit is taxable, but it is. So the money you pull from one account can affect the taxes that you pay on other income sources. And this is where retirement planning stops just being investment planning and becomes real tax planning. And then there's the whole health situation. There's Medicare. Higher income in retirement can trigger higher Medicare premiums through IRMA, I-R-M-A-A, IRMA. And that means a big IRA withdrawal early, a large Roth conversion, and what IRMA means is that a big IRA withdrawal, a large Roth conversion, or a major capital gain in the wrong year, or in other words, the unplanned year, may not just increase income taxes, it could also increase your Medicare premiums. And trust me, some of these increases in Medicare premiums, it's crazy. I mean, how much it is, way more than you'd expect. So sometimes the tax bill is really obvious. Sometimes the extra cost shows up somewhere else, and it could be in your health care and your health insurance. Next, we get to required minimum distributions, or RMDs. And this is one of the biggest reasons you can't ignore your tax-deferred accounts for too long. At some point, the government forces you to begin taking money out of your traditional retirement accounts, whether you need the income or not. Another way to think about this is the government let you grow that money tax-free. At some point, the government forces you to begin taking out money out of your traditional retirement accounts, whether you need the income or not. The way to think about this is the government, when you put the money into the tax-deferred accounts, it allowed you a tax break on your ordinary income while you were working. It allowed you to grow that money tax-free, but the government still wants its tax money. And so when you take it out, that's when they're getting their money back. So if your 401k or IRA has grown very large, those forced withdrawals can push you into higher tax brackets. They can make more of your Social Security taxable, and they can also potentially, as we just said, increase your Medicare premiums, and not by a little, but sometimes quite a bit. And this is where Roth conversions often become part of the conversation. A Roth conversion means intentionally moving money from a traditional IRA or 401k type account, any kind of tax-deferred account, into a Roth account and paying the tax now, ideally at a lower rate than you might face later. This video is not about a full Roth conversion tutorial. We'll do one. It's a very complex thing. It probably requires multiple videos. But the concept here matters because the withdrawal order and the Roth strategy, they're very connected. And so this is something, as you think about everything that I said here, you're also gonna have to go do some research on what the right Roth strategy is for you. And again, I can't stress this enough, that everybody's situation is completely different. There is no one size fits all. Again, the goal is not to avoid taxes entirely because, as we just noted, even on a tax deferred account, the government eventually wants to get paid its share of your income in the form of taxation. But the goal is to manage those taxes that you pay over time and optimize them to pay as little as you can, within the constraints of the law. Now, let's talk about why many people save withdrawals out of their Roth accounts. They save those for last. So pulling from a Roth account early feels great because there's no immediate tax gain. But that can be really misleading and can leave a lot of money on the table. If you spend Roth money too early, you may be cutting short the most valuable compounding asset in your entire retirement plan. Your Roth may be the most valuable real estate, metaphorically, in your financial life because every dollar in a Roth vehicle, it grows tax-free and is tax-free when you take it out. And that is a huge benefit for anybody. Now, there's also a legacy angle to consider here as well. Taxable accounts may receive a stepped-up basis for heirs under the current rules, depending on each individual situation. Roth accounts can also be really attractive to heirs because qualified Roth withdrawals are generally, again, tax-free. Traditional IRAs and 401ks, on the other hand, they usually pass along the income tax obligation. So withdrawal sequencing is not just about you, it may also affect your spouse, children, or heirs, or receive after. So withdrawal sequencing is not just about you, it also may affect your heirs, your spouse, your children, or other heirs that receive after-tax money. The larger lesson here is this. Your retirement problem may not be investment returns, it may be taxes. And a lot of people obsess over getting the extra 0.5% of return while completely ignoring the fact that a poor withdrawal strategy can quietly drain your portfolio or erase any gains that you had. The goal is not just to maximize your account balance, the goal is to maximize your after-tax retirement income. So let's tie all this together with a practical framework. First, identify your fixed income. Second, calculate your retirement income gap. Third, list your account types: taxable, tax deferred, and Roth. Fourth, map out when Social Security starts, when Medicare brings. Fourth, map out when Social Security starts, when Medicare begins, and when RMDs are required to begin. And fifth, look for low-income years when you may be able to do And fifth, look for low-income years where you may be able to harvest gains, draw down tax-deferred accounts, or consider Roth conversions very strategically. Now, before we wrap up, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the UnRetired, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss our weekly episodes. We've got a lot more information about Roth conversions, Social Security taxation, RMD planning, Medicare, IRMA, all these things that are a challenge and frankly way too complicated for the average retiree, but we have to face these things. Okay, let's conclude this with a really big takeaway and a really simple takeaway. Retirement isn't just about saving enough money, it's about creating a smart, tax-efficient paycheck from the money you've already saved. The order of this withdrawal matters a lot. The timing matters, the tax bracket matters, and the smartest strategy is not always the most obvious one. So before you start just pulling money randomly from whichever account feels convenient or is right there and easy to withdraw from, slow down. Map it out and think like, the CFO of your retirement. Because in this next chapter, the paycheck doesn't just arrive anymore. You're the one who creates it.